Definitely, I think the dance is pretty cool. I never thought it'd be a dancing song, I'm being so honest. I didn't think people would make moves to it because personally, I know that's why I don't dance on TikTok because I just know I can't do all those dances.
It's the bar for me, it's your hijab for me, and it's the fall for me. Baby, it's the bar for me, it's the bar for me. Do you see her out there bobbing freely? Stiff wear, woo, stiff wear.
The workflow I usually like to work with is I like to sit down for a day and just create a bunch of different melodies and not really give too much thought to it. So I'll just sit down and work on a bunch of loops or ideas and then either come back to them later and finish them up or just send them off to the homies and see what they want to cook up on them. And so this is one of those. I just kind of sat down. I usually make R&B type of stuff. So I put a couple melodies down and then sent it over to Thomas and just wanted to see what he wanted to cook up on it. And he killed it as always. Here's the bass line. Yeah, I think when I started making beats, I kind of gravitated towards just stacking melodies on top of each other. Just because I come from like the orchestra world where it's just a lot of like stuff kind of put together. And I definitely ran into a lot of issues starting out of just overproducing and putting too much stuff on top of each other. But yeah, I kind of just like to add bass chords and then a bunch of melodies and kind of like arrange them after that and see what fits, see what doesn't, take some things out. Here's the chords I put over the bass line. All right, so like I was saying, Thomas is better at guitar than I am, so I just laid this down in a little MIDI VST I have. It's called Amp Guitar. It's really dope. You should check it out. But this is the guitar line. It's kind of had like a happy, uplifting vibe to it. Like it's a little more carefree than some of the other ones. Some of the other ones are a little can be a little darker. So the last thing I added to the loop is a little vocal chop. And I usually get vocal chops from Splice or places like that, but here it is. I really like using vocal chops because I think like the voice is such a great instrument and I can't sing at all. So like if I could, trust me, I would just be like laying vocals down, but that would be really bad. So yeah, I love just adding that element. And I liked the lyrics in this one, the I love you. I just thought it was something that could stand out, that like maybe someone could incorporate the writing to that. But yeah, no, it just sounded cool. So I wanted to add it. And so if you play them all together, it sounds like this.
I think initially Pdub had reached out to me, like we collab all the time. So he had sent over a collab, just like a normal collab like we always do. And I want to say he sent that over in beginning of July 2020 or something like that. And I just kind of went along like a regular collab, loaded it up into my session, figured out the chords and kind of just like collaborated from there. So when Pdub first sent me over this idea, I have his parts highlighted in red. And usually when I listen through his ideas that he sends me, I just kind of try and like break down the chords in my head and like figure them out on guitar and then go from there. But I'll just play his part real quick. So I kind of arranged it a little bit, like took his instruments in and out. In some spots I even pitched it. Like I pitched down a vocal right here, bring in the bass and stuff. So I just kind of arranged his stuff a little bit and pitched some of it. And then I figured out the chords on guitar. I added a little like pluck chord thing going on just to outline the chords that he was doing. And on my guitars, all I did was add a guitar rig, which I usually put on my guitars or like the tool rack by Waves. And I just do direct input into my Apollo usually. And then usually I like to lay down guitar chords and then I do like a little melody as well. So I usually just play around or whatever and I'll chop up what I did. So I chopped up this from a tape that I did. And in some parts too, I pitch it back down, like right here. And then, so both of those guitar parts together sound like this. When I first got the beat, it was just kind of like a normal collab that like me and Pdub always do. And like, I didn't put any extra thought into it. Like I followed kind of the same steps that I normally do when I was making a beat. And I always put perk loops in my beats, especially with R&B stuff. Like, I just think it gives it like nice texture and just like makes the beat sound more full. So this is the perk loop. I think I got it from Splice. And then here I have the drums coming. I took out the bass that Pdub gave me and I put in a normal 808, a little hard hitting 808 here. It's kind of like a short 808. And then I'll bring the perk loop back in, the clap, and then I layered in. I like to layer in like snare over clap usually. Like kind of have like the clap break down into just like first parts or building back up into the chorus. And then I have also an open hat, kind of gives it a nice bounce. And here I'll just play just the drum part on the beat drop here. Like I looked it up because Pdub hit me up like, oh, I think we have a beat like going crazy on TikTok right now. I was like, oh yeah, and he's like, yeah, search like Bob for Me challenge or whatever. And I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, like this, we might have something for sure. There was like millions of views and stuff. And then I looked up to see like when we had uploaded the beat because we had put it on YouTube and it was like 8 months ago or something. So it's kind of funny how things just kind of catch back up to you, you know? And then I'll bring in all the instruments. And this is like the chorus of the song here.
The way I found out about Vibe For Me was I kept getting these notifications on my beat on YouTube, and people were commenting about, you know, Bob For Me and talking about Aqyila and TikTok, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So I slid over to TikTok real quick and searched it, and I noticed there's just like millions of videos people had made to her sound of her recording over the beat, and a bunch of influencers had made videos, and like Lizzo had made a video.
Baby, it's the vibe for me. Woo! It's the vibe for me. Don't you see me out there bopping freely? Stiff well, stiff well.
I messaged Thomas. I was like, yo, man, like, I think one of our beats is going kind of crazy on TikTok right now. And that's how we found out about it.
And every time I check too, it's like, it goes up every day. It's like still like,
yeah.
I don't even think it's peaked or anything, like, to be honest. Like I just see the numbers still rising.
It's crazy because like I felt like I was late finding out about it because like people had been commenting and I didn't really notice it until a little later. And then like people were making they're just using the sound for videos, and then like later on, a couple months later, people started making a dance to it, and then it like started blowing up even more. So it's kind of gone through like generations of TikTok like viralness. Like you were talking about before, this was just another beat we made, you know. We didn't think anything special was going to come out of it. So just shows you like even stuff that you might not like the most, or you know, you might not think it's going to do anything, like just put it up, put stuff out. You never know what's going to happen with it.
I found the beat on YouTube through Pdub, the producer's YouTube channel. And it's funny because I was actually subscribed to him for, I think, a couple of months now. And I came across it. I really like beats that have like acoustics in it. And I thought that the guitar and the beat itself was like really, I don't know, like it felt like a Queen Naija song. So I downloaded the song and then I recorded everything on my MacBook. I don't have a mic, so I actually like lifted up my MacBook Air and then sang into it with my brother's like gaming headphones. I did like this top line right here is like the main vocals, and then those, well, this part is like more like the backup kind of area for the ones I couldn't probably sing in like one breath. I would just kind of come in and add like an extra vocal.
It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely? I don't care, I'm a vibe anywhere. Take a drive or by fair, applying pressure cause I'm rare. It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely?
And then I did a little mix and mastering using BandLab, which is like this Google Chrome plugin. I just basically uploaded the song, clicked this one button, and then it said like mix and master. And I was like, okay, well, I can hear myself and I can hear the beat and it sounds pretty equal. So I used that file and then uploaded it. I actually don't have an auto-tune plugin. So literally when I'm singing, every time I just keep re-singing the same line over and over and over again until I think it sounds decent. I heard the beat initially and it came from me singing Bob for Me, and then I took that melody and then sang Vibe for Me because people were like, oh my gosh, like you sang the Bob for Me thing, it sounds so good, but can you say Vibe? So I sang Vibe instead, and then I just made this way longer and I added like more words. I really like songs that make me feel good and empower me. So when the lyrics came to me in a sense of like, you know, it's your vibe for me, like, do you see me out there vibing freely? It's just like a carefree kind of song. And you know, when I talked about like you have a way with your words and you elevate and you know your worth, it's like I want people to realize that like you should know your worth. Definitely, I think the dance is pretty cool. I never thought it'd be a dancing song. I'm being so honest. I didn't think people would make moves to it because personally, I know that's why I don't dance on TikTok because I just know I can't do all those dances. But it was really cool to see. And it was two guys that made the dance to it, and that's pretty dope because, you know, people started dancing, and then obviously when you use the sound it goes like re-viral again in a sense. So that was really cool. And I love the fact that people just felt empowered. Like women were just like, yeah, like I look good, and I'm like, yeah, you better feel like that because you do look good. Like, you know, it just made people feel really nice. I was doing that section after I was like, oh, it's the Bob for me, and then I said it's your hijab for me because I don't see a lot of representation in music like that for that culture. And so not only is like my best friend like also Muslim, and so is my grandma. And it's just like very important. I feel like that everybody should kind of feel represented in that song.
Take a drive over fair, applying pressure cause I'm rare. Baby, it's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely? I don't care, I'm a vibe anywhere. Take a drive over.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm Aqyila, and you can find me on TikTok at Aqyila, that's Aqyila, and then add an extra A at the end, or Aqyila on Instagram, which is just Aqyila.
Thanks for watching, and if you want to check me out, you can find me on Instagram at Pdubcookin and on TikTok at Pdubcookin.
Thank you for tuning in. You can find me on all my social medias at Thomas Crager.